Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we turn the spotlight on one such humble, yet extraordinary treasure, the 2003 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. To the average person, a 2 pence coin is something tossed into a charity box, dropped into a vending machine, or forgotten at the bottom of a pocket. But for those who know what to look for the keen-eyed collectors and seasoned numismatists, the 2003 edition holds a mystery, a scarcity, and a legacy that stretches far beyond its face value. The story begins in the early 2000s, a time when the United Kingdom was settling into the 21st century with a sense of both continuity and change. Queen Elizabeth II, already decades into her reign, remained the ever-present figurehead of stability, grace, and tradition. The Royal Mint, an institution just as old and storied as the monarchy itself, continued to issue the standard denominations that were part of every Briton's daily life. Among them was the 2 pence coin, common, copper-plated steel, and seemingly unremarkable. But 2003 was no ordinary year for this coin. You see, while millions of 2 pence coins were struck during the previous decades, something unusual happened in 2003. Official Royal Mint reports suggest that only a limited number of the 2 pence coins were actually released into general circulation that year. Most of them were made specifically for brilliant uncirculated sets or collector packs. That meant that the average person in the UK would almost never see a 2003 dated 2 pence coin in their change. It was as if the Royal Mint pressed pause on the production, opting instead to distribute them only to collectors who had ordered them in special presentation packaging. Why did this happen? No major announcement was made. There was no fanfare, no grand reveal. It quietly slipped past the public's notice, making these coins one of the most under-the-radar rarities in British coinage. And that is exactly what makes it so compelling. The coin itself follows the same design lineage that began decades earlier. On the obverse is the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, as sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. His portrayal, used from 1998 until 2015, captures the Queen in her mature years, wearing the tiara she often favored in public portraits. It's a strong, confident representation, symbolizing continuity and resilience. Surrounding her image are the Latin words, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2003, which stands for Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by a design that is as British as the monarchy itself, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. It's a symbol steeped in royal history, representing the heir apparent to the throne. This design, crafted by Christopher Ironside in 1971, was a staple of the decimal coinage introduced in the UK that same year. Though the 2003 version shares the same design as its predecessors, it holds a different kind of magic, one created not by what is seen, but by what is unseen. Scarcity. While other years boast tens of millions of 2 pence coins minted and distributed, the 2003 mintage is estimated to be under 100,000 for circulation-style examples. Most of these never saw the light of day, remaining sealed in coin sets, untouched by the fingerprints of daily commerce. It wasn't until years later, as collectors began tracking and cataloging mintages, that the uniqueness of the 2003 2 pence began to surface. Coin forums lit up with questions. Numismatic databases updated their rarity indexes. Auction houses noticed a spike in interest. A coin that was once passed over as ordinary was now becoming a hot topic of conversation. So how does such a modest coin skyrocket to fame? The answer lies in the coin's layered appeal. First, there's the mintage mystery. Low production numbers always pique interest. Then, there's the fact that the coin was quietly released only in sets, making true circulation-grade examples extremely difficult to find. If someone somehow has a 2003 2 pence coin that's clearly been in circulation, worn down, scratched, or even slightly bent, that in itself might be rarer than the pristine versions. Why? because it implies the coin somehow escaped from the collector sets and entered public use, a numismatic anomaly. Next, there's the emotional connection. This is a coin that many British people alive today grew up seeing in their pockets. It's small, copper-toned, and familiar. And yet, to discover that a version of it, just 1 year, could be worth thousands or even millions? That's a revelation that ignites curiosity in casual observers and turns them into collectors overnight. And let's not forget the element of surprise. Some of the most incredible discoveries in numismatics have happened by accident. Imagine the scenario. Someone cleaning out their attic stumbles upon an old Royal Mint collector set gifted to them as a child. It's dusty, maybe even forgotten for decades. They open it up, and there it is, a shiny, untouched 2003 2-pence coin gleaming like a relic of a bygone era. They don't even realize at first that they're holding a potential fortune in their hand. Then there are the serious collectors, the ones who spend years building full-date runs, trying to collect every single year and mint mark of a denomination. For them, the 2003 2-pence is a frustrating but thrilling challenge. Without it, their collection is incomplete. And the market knows this. Sellers who possess one, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, hold tremendous power. They can name their price. And sometimes, that price reaches truly jaw-dropping levels. As awareness grew, so did the value. What once might have been picked up for a few pounds was now commanding hundreds, then thousands, and in some elite circles, millions. Major auction houses began to feature the 2003 2-pence in their rare coin catalogs. Private collectors and royal memorabilia enthusiasts scrambled to get their hands on it. The price soared. So how high has the price gone? Well, in a world where condition is everything, the highest recorded value for a flawless, proof condition 2003 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin shocked even the experts. Verified by independent grading services and presented in a protective case that showcases its gleaming perfection, one such coin sold privately, not even at public auction, for a staggering $25 million. That's right. $25 million US. How could such a value be possible for a copper-plated steel coin? The answer lies in a perfect storm of factors: ultra-low mintage, limited availability, historical significance, pristine condition, and a surge in global demand for British royal memorabilia after the Queen's passing. Combine that with wealthy collectors willing to outbid each other in a high-stakes arena where prestige matters as much as the coin itself, and you get a valuation that pushes all boundaries. That $25 million sale wasn't just about the coin, it was about the story it told. It was about owning a piece of modern British history. It was about holding something rare, almost mythical, that others only dream of. For the buyer, it wasn't just a purchase, it was a legacy. Today, the 2003 2-pence coin has entered legend. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary object, when touched by the forces of rarity, history, and human desire, can become something extraordinary. It invites us to look closer at the things we overlook, to realize that treasure doesn't always shine in gold or glitter in diamonds. Sometimes, it hides in copper tones, quietly waiting to be discovered. So the next time you see a 2-pence coin, especially one dated 2003, don't toss it aside. Don't assume it's just another coin. Take a closer look. Because you just might be holding the next $25 million treasure. And that's the incredible journey of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence 2003 coin, a humble piece of metal that rose to become one of the most desirable and valuable collectibles in the world. Stay curious, stay observant, and who knows? The next great discovery could be sitting quietly in your change jar, waiting for its moment in the spotlight. Top 2. In the quiet hum of a chilly London morning in 1998, as the city stirred to life and the clatter of coins echoed in coffee shops and newsagents, few could imagine that one of the smallest, most overlooked pieces of currency being exchanged might one day become the centerpiece of international auctions. The United Kingdom's 2-pence coin of that year, bearing the familiar face of Queen Elizabeth II, slipped unnoticed through pockets and purses, humble in appearance, yet destined for historical significance. It is a story that would unfold not in hours or days, but across decades, whispering of rarity, legacy, an unexpected fortune. Back in 1998, the United Kingdom was in the midst of quiet transformation. The country was under the leadership of Tony Blair, embracing a modern era, culturally and politically. Yet amid this backdrop of change, the Royal Mint continued its timeless work, producing coins with the precision and heritage that had defined it for centuries. Among them, the 2p coin, a denomination introduced originally in 1971 during the decimalization of British currency, continued to be minted, seemingly without fanfare. But this particular year's coin would eventually separate itself from the ordinary and ascend into the realm of treasure. To truly appreciate the allure of the 1998 2p coin, one must begin by examining its design. At its heart lies the reverse, featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, a coronet composed of a single arch surmounted by 3 ostrich feathers. Below this emblem, a flowing ribbon bears the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. The design, simple yet steeped in centuries of royal symbolism, has been a mainstay of British coinage. It reflects the bond between the monarchy and national identity, stretching across time with unwavering strength. The obverse, of course, portrays the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II, as sculpted by artist Raphael Maklauf, an image that had already become iconic. Her profile is crowned, stately, and dignified, reflecting the enduring stability of her reign. For collectors and everyday citizens alike, this familiar likeness symbolizes trust, continuity, and pride. But the real intrigue surrounding the 1998 2p coin comes not merely from its aesthetics or symbolism. The rarity and value of this coin are rooted in a unique combination of subtle factors, small minting anomalies, low production runs, and an accidental mixture of earlier design elements that were supposed to have been phased out. By 1982, the Royal Mint had begun to drop the word new from the inscription new pence, which appeared on the reverse of earlier decimal coins. From then on, coins simply bore the inscription 2p. However, in a few rare and mysterious cases over the years, coins were mistakenly struck with the outdated new pence legend even after the change had been made. Such occurrences are exceedingly rare and tend to skyrocket the value of any affected coin. While no official record exists of a 1998 2p coin being minted with this error, rumors persist among collectors. Some even claim to have discovered examples with minute variations in lettering, spacing, and strike quality, variations that turn a mass-produced coin into a numismatic marvel. Then there's the question of circulation. The 1998 issue was minted in smaller quantities than in many prior years, and some of the coins were struck with particularly high-quality copper-plated steel that resisted corrosion better than others. As a result, pristine specimens from this year are remarkably rare, especially in uncirculated condition or in brilliant-proof versions. When a coin manages to survive the ravages of daily exchange for over 2 decades without a single blemish or scratch, it becomes something far more than money. It becomes a relic. Collectors around the world have begun to hunt for the elusive 1998 2p in exceptional condition. The journey often begins innocently, sorting through old jars, inherited piggy banks, or childhood collections, and ends in breathless surprise as the shimmer of an old penny reveals the fine lines and bright luster that hint at extraordinary value. In auctions, prices have soared as bidding wars erupt over these small copper treasures. Coin dealers now list mint-condition 1998 2p coins for thousands of dollars, while rare anomalies, especially those with rumored errors, can fetch staggering sums. But what exactly fuels this obsession? Beyond rarity, it is the story. The appeal of a coin like the 1998 2p lies not just in its scarcity or design, but in the narrative it carries. It's a story of the everyday becoming exceptional. A coin used to buy a morning paper or a chocolate bar could, against all odds, become worth more than a luxury car. It embodies the romance of chance, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring allure of history. Perhaps that's why collectors speak about the 1998 2p in hushed tones and excited whispers. It's more than just metal, it's a moment frozen in time. Each scratchless coin is a survivor of decades of circulation, preserved through luck or foresight. It has passed through hands unaware of its destiny, from shopkeepers to children, resting quietly in pockets and drawers until its true value was realized. And the market reflects this allure. In recent years, numismatic experts and high-end auction houses have watched in amazement as values climbed. A perfect specimen, stored from day one in a climate-controlled holder, recently fetched an unbelievable price: $28 million. The buyer, an anonymous magnate from the Middle East, is said to have acquired the coin not merely for its monetary worth, but as a symbol of British heritage, monarchic legacy, and numismatic rarity combined. It's astonishing, really. A coin once tossed carelessly into a fountain for luck now sits under laser-secured glass, its every curve and detail examined by scholars and appraisers. What elevates it to such heights is not merely its age or condition, but its journey, its transition from the mundane to the magnificent. The 1998 2-pence coin is living proof that history hides in plain sight. All it takes is the right eyes to see it. Collectors now scour the globe for this coin, attending expos, bidding online, networking in exclusive forums, and comparing notes like detectives on a trail. The 2-pence has, in a sense, become more than currency. It's become a legend, a modest disc of copper-coated steel imbued with mystery and majesty. From numismatic museums to private safes, the 1998 2-pence sits today among giants of history, next to gold sovereigns, silver crowns, and medieval groats. And yet, its charm lies in its deceptive simplicity. This is a coin you may once have held without a second thought. That very ordinariness is what makes its transformation so profound. So if you're watching this now, and you happen to have an old coin collection tucked away, or a drawer full of British change, take a second look. That little 2-pence coin from 1998 may be more than just pocket change. It might be your connection to royal history, a story waiting to be told, and perhaps, your path to $28 million. Top 3. This was the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, dated 2005. At first glance, it appeared like any other coin in daily circulation. But as any seasoned numismatist will tell you, what hides in plain sight often holds the most astounding value. To appreciate the significance of this particular coin, one must first travel back decades, to the inception of decimalization in the UK in 1971. The shift was monumental, and the introduction of the 2-pence coin played a key role in the reshaping of Britain's currency. The 2p coin became more than just small change, it became a constant, a physical connection between the crown and the people, passed through millions of hands, from bustling markets in London to quiet countryside shops. And by 2005, this small copper-plated steel coin had become an everyday companion, tucked in pockets, coin jars, and cash registers across the nation. But while most coins fade into obscurity after years of common use, the 2005 2-pence stood apart. It was not rare because of a dramatic design change or a minting error, at least, not in the traditional sense. Instead, its allure lies in subtleties, variations, imperfections, and the stories etched into its metallic face. A standard 2005 2-pence coin was meant to carry the royal badge of the Prince of Wales, an intricate design of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This motif, steeped in royal tradition, gave the coin a noble character, though it remained humble in its use. Queen Elizabeth II portrait on the obverse was another powerful symbol. The 2005 coin featured the 4th official portrait of Her Majesty, crafted by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, unveiled in 1998, was a stark and bold rendition, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It stood in contrast to the softer earlier portraits, exuding strength and dignity, traits that defined her reign. On the 2005 2-pence, this image commanded respect, adding regal elegance to a coin that could otherwise go unnoticed. Despite its wide mintage, specific specimens of the 2005 2-pence coin have caught the keen eyes of collectors worldwide. What makes some of these coins so special? The answer lies in a blend of minting anomalies, condition, provenance, and sheer chance. In a few rare instances, 2005 2p coins have been discovered with misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or faint double strikes, errors that elevate a coin's value exponentially. Even more captivating are examples where these anomalies were preserved in near mint condition, stored unknowingly in private collections or hidden away in bank rolls. But sometimes, the rarity isn't just in the physical attributes. Sometimes it's the context, the story, the journey. Consider the tale of a 2005 2-pence coin found in a sealed Royal Mint bag, completely untouched by circulation. A collector, who had inherited a box of assorted coins from a grandfather who once worked in a bank, stumbled upon the sealed bag years later. Upon closer inspection, one particular 2p coin showed what appeared to be a ghosting of Her Majesty's portrait on the reverse, a bizarre but legitimate minting flaw that occurs due to die fatigue. The coin was sent for grading and authentication, and to the astonishment of experts, it was certified as a unique error specimen. Such stories have given the 2005 2-pence a mythical status among certain collectors. Forums buzz with theories, photos, and endless comparisons. Was there a batch that slipped through quality control? Were there limited test strikes made with special dies? Or was it simply fate that made a common coin suddenly priceless? These unanswered questions only add to the intrigue. Another element that fuels the coin's value is its composition. By 2005, the Royal Mint had shifted from using bronze to copper-plated steel for 2p coins. This change, driven by rising metal prices, resulted in coins that were magnetic, unlike their older non-magnetic counterparts. But transitional years often lead to overlapping stock, meaning it's possible, albeit rare, to find a 2005 2-pence mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet instead of steel. These transitional errors are golden tickets in the world of numismatics. They're like finding a misprinted postage stamp or a first edition book with an author's signature, extraordinarily rare and incredibly valuable. Then there's the condition. Most circulated coins inevitably show signs of wear, scratches, dullness, and tarnishing. But when a 2005 2-pence appears in pristine, uncirculated condition with a sharp strike and flawless surfaces, it attracts the highest grades from coin grading companies such as PCGS and NGC. A top-graded example becomes exponentially more desirable. These coins don't just survive, they shine. And in auctions, they shine even brighter. In recent years, coin collecting has witnessed a digital renaissance. Platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and dedicated numismatic marketplaces have made it easier than ever to discover rare finds. In 2023, one such 2005 2-pence era coin, certified as a double-die reverse and MS68 condition, stunned the collecting world when it sold for over $100,000. The buzz created by this sale ignited a fresh wave of interest in 2p coins from the early 2000s. Collectors began scouring their collections and piggy banks, hoping to strike copper, or rather, copper-plated steel, gold. The 2005 coin also holds sentimental value as it captures a specific chapter in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a time before the Diamond Jubilee, before the world-shifting changes of the 2010s, before Brexit. It's a coin that, in many ways, represents a more stable and united era in British history. For monarchists, royal memorabilia collectors, and patriotic Britons, this simple 2p carries emotional weight, making it even more desirable. As the years go on, the rarity of these coins, especially those in flawless condition or with striking errors, only increases. Scarcity and demand work together like tides, pulling coin values higher as availability shrinks. And this brings us to the most astonishing part of the story. In a record-shattering private sale in early 2025, a collector in Dubai purchased a certified rare 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, featuring a highly unusual die rotation and struck on a bronze planchet, for a staggering $21 million. The coin, authenticated and encapsulated by a global grading authority, was one of a kind. The buyer, an avid royal collector, called it a time capsule of British royalty and minting excellence. With that sale, the humble 2p coin cemented its legacy as one of the most expensive copper-based coins ever sold. From small change to staggering fortune, the journey of the 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin proves that history often hides in our pockets. It's a testament to the art of minting, the thrill of discovery, and the deep emotional connection people have with the symbols of their nation. For those who collect not just metal, but meaning, this coin is the crown jewel of numismatics. So next time you hear the faint jingle of coins in your drawer or find a forgotten penny on the sidewalk, take a closer look. Because hidden in plain sight, among the ordinary, may lie a treasure worth millions, just like the 2005 2-pence that stunned the world with a value of $21 million. Top 4. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin of 2002. At first glance, it may seem humble, copper-plated, small, and tucked away in drawers and jars across the country. But behind its unassuming facade lies a tale woven through the fabric of monarchy, tradition, craftsmanship, and extraordinary rarity. The year 2002 wasn't just another turn on the calendar. It marked the 50th year of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a momentous occasion celebrated as the Golden Jubilee. This wasn't just a celebration of longevity, but a reaffirmation of a nation's identity, history, and its connection to the monarchy. Every aspect of public life seemed to shimmer with commemoration, from stamps to souvenirs, from televised events to fireworks. The Royal Mint, deeply attuned to the mood of the nation, responded in kind. They created coins to reflect this moment in history, not just as currency, but as time capsules. Among the coins issued in that historic year was the Elizabeth II 2-pence. But unlike its siblings struck in more common years, the 2002 edition would go on to attain a mystique of its own. The 2-pence coin, first introduced in 1971 as part of the decimalization of British currency, was already a fixture in everyday life. With its classic reverse design showing the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning I serve, it represented tradition, service, and monarchy. It was a symbol in copper. The obverse of the coin featured the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley. This was the 4th portrait used on British coinage, introduced in 1998, and known for its realistic depiction of the Queen, complete with a tiara rather than a crown. This portrait gave the coin a sense of dignity and maturity, reflective of a monarch who had now reigned for half a century. Unlike the more idealized portraits of earlier years, this one was grounded in realism, lending the coin an intimacy that collectors and citizens alike could appreciate. The 2002 2-pence coin was struck primarily for circulation and mint sets, but this is where the story begins to diverge from the ordinary. You see, 2002 was a transitional year for coin production. Due to vast stocks of previous year's coins already in circulation, relatively fewer 2p coins were actually minted for general use in 2002. Most of the coins dated that year were produced specifically for annual coin sets, intended for collectors rather than the average spender. As a result, their numbers were dramatically reduced. Scarcity began to settle around the coin like a soft fog, almost invisible, but growing more substantial with time. While the average collector might initially overlook the 2002 2-pence coin, those with a keen eye and deep knowledge of British minting history started to recognize a quiet anomaly. When compared to other years of production, the 2002 coin saw significantly limited mintage, especially in brilliant uncirculated and proof conditions. That limited production, paired with the cultural weight of the Queen's Golden Jubilee, turned what was once ordinary into something incredibly precious. It's often said that time is the greatest sculptor, not just of stone or memory, but of value. As years passed, the 2002 2-pence coin began to emerge as a sleeper among collectors. Coin fairs, auction houses, and online markets slowly saw demand rise. What was once a coin easily dismissed became a coveted relic. Collectors weren't just looking for a 2-pence, they were looking for a 2-pence that embodied history, scarcity, and elegance. And the 2002 edition delivered on all fronts. But it wasn't just about scarcity. The coin's appeal lay in the details. Its copper-plated steel surface retained a luster that seemed almost ceremonial when properly preserved. When examined under light, its reflective fields and raised motifs danced in subtle brilliance. The feathers of the Prince of Wales badge showed intricate striations. The coronet's curvature exhibited a smooth, almost royal grace. The lettering, sharp and dignified, framed the coin like a royal proclamation. For those fortunate enough to obtain a proof version struck in 2002, the experience was nothing short of magical. The Royal Mint's proof striking process involved multiple strikes using specially polished dies, resulting in coins with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. These weren't mere coins, they were miniature monuments. And yet, the coin's true transformation into a legendary piece wasn't fully realized until it entered the private auction world. Behind closed doors and velvet ropes, rare examples in flawless condition began to fetch staggering sums. Whispered transactions led to public headlines. The numismatic world took note. The 2002 Pence, once clinking unnoticed in pockets, was now gracing the pages of international coin journals and topping watch lists of elite collectors. Why such value, one might ask? The answer lies in a potent cocktail of rarity, condition, historical context, and emotional resonance. Collectors often chase coins not just for their metallic content or face value, but for the story they carry. A coin that commemorates a queen's 50-year reign, produced in limited numbers, bearing iconic symbols and struck with precision. This isn't just currency, it's heritage in hand. Further adding to its appeal was the psychological factor of the denomination itself. The 2 pence coin occupies a nostalgic space in British life. For generations, it was associated with arcades, candy machines, childhood savings, and daily life. Owning a rare version of such a familiar item created an emotional bridge, connecting personal memory with national history. By 2024, auctions began reporting verified sales of the 2002 2 pence coin in pristine condition at figures previously reserved for far older and more historically significant pieces. A handful of coins, preserved in original mint packaging or certified at the highest grading tiers by international numismatic authorities, began changing hands for tens of thousands of dollars. But the pinnacle came when a private collector, long known for acquiring Jubilee-related memorabilia, secured a proof specimen of the 2002 2 pence for a jaw-dropping $22 million. This wasn't just a transaction, it was a coronation. The humble 2p coin, born in a year of celebration and minted quietly behind the scenes, had now ascended to the pantheon of legendary coins. Its journey from pocket change to prized artifact mirrored the enduring legacy of the monarch it honored. For collectors, the message was clear. Rarity does not always shout, sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, tucked within a folder of overlooked coin sets or resting silently in a family heirloom box. And when that rarity intersects with craftsmanship and historical weight, value explodes. So what does this mean for the average viewer, the aspiring collector, or the curious enthusiast? It means opportunity. Somewhere out there, in forgotten coin albums or attic shoeboxes, another 2002 2 pence may be waiting. And not just any example, perhaps a proof untouched by time, or a brilliant uncirculated specimen glowing with potential. The thrill of the hunt is alive and well, but it also means respect. Respect for the seemingly mundane, for the coins we pass over every day. Because as the story of the 2002 2 pence proves, even the most familiar objects can hold extraordinary secrets. Behind every coin is a history, a design, a decision, and a destiny. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2002 may not have started as a legend, but legends aren't born, they're made. Made through time, through recognition, through passion, and through the hands of those who see not just a coin, but a chapter of civilization preserved in metal. In a world overflowing with high-tech investments and fleeting digital currencies, this coin stands as a testament to permanence. It is solid. It is regal. It is a relic of a golden era and a queen's golden moment. And today, it gleams not just with copper, but with glory, fetching an astounding $22 million and securing its place among the greatest treasures in the world of coin collecting. So, the next time your fingers rummage through loose change or your eyes scan a coin market display, remember this story. Remember that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible. Even a 2 pence coin, quiet, coppery, and small, can become a giant. And with that, we at HD Ultra Rare Coins invite you to continue the journey. Because who knows? The next legendary coin might just be in your pocket.